Have you ever had one of those dishes that you just can't get out of your mind? It's that good. Well, a couple years ago, my cousin lived in Richmond, Virginia, and he took me to this little Italian place on the second floor, downtown Richmond, called Edo's Squid. And I said the name wrong for years, but I will never forget their dish called Broccolette. At least that's what we've nicknamed it. I don't even know if that's accurate. Sometimes when I'm driving north, we'll try to stop for lunch or dinner. You can get it as an appetizer, you can get it with pasta, you can get it with pasta and meat if you want, but their garlicky, lemony broccoli rabe sauteed down is the absolute best. I think I've matched it. It's never quite the same as sitting in that very low lit, candlelight, brick wall room. It's perfect little place for some dinner. But what I'm gonna try to do is mimic it. You can saute down the broccolette, rapini, broccoli rabe, anything in this family. What it is it's like the broccoli flower, and it's on a longer stem. You can cook it any way you want. It looks like it's gonna cook quite a lot, and it actually does cook down some. I'm gonna try and make it in my broth instead of, typically I usually make it in olive oil. So we're gonna put some of the broth in the pan like we saute for stir fries or anything like that. There's probably a third of a cup, quarter cup to a third of a cup of broth in there. And what we're gonna do is just chop off the ends. They're fairly dry. We don't need to get those in the mix. And then we want to rinse everything off and get it nice and clean. So while my stock heats up, I'll rinse this off real well. Alrighty. So we're gonna saute this down. And you can cut this up more if you don't want such big stalks. I think the stalks give it a little bit of flair. But maybe before I put everything in, I should add the garlic. The garlic is the signature of this dish, and you can't have enough garlic. This is the type of dish that when you have a clove of garlic, try to put this baby back together like this huge, like 5 clove of garlic, you use this garlic in this dish. I like to press it, so I'm just gonna be pressing a bunch of garlic out here. I would definitely say there's a minimum of at least 5 cloves. You can put more, depending how big they are. But this is a heavily garlicky dish. This guy's huge. So after this is probably almost all the garlic we need. It's also gonna have lemons in it. We're gonna put some zest and some juice of a lemon. That also brings out the brightness of the garlic. It adds to the wonderful flavor of the greens. And generally it's topped with a nut. Pine nuts traditionally. You know what, I actually think that's enough garlic. It is so much at the bottom there. We'll add some more. Layer this, go in a bunch of different ways. This makes, like I said, a great side dish or a dish all on its own. You'd be surprised how filling all these greens are. And then you can add different things to it. You can also spice this up by adding some roasted red pepper to it if you want it to have a little bit of kick. Try to clean up as I go here. I'm going to want a lid. And we're going to want to add some salt. My hands are a little wet. All the salt's going to stick to my fingers. When you add salt to your vegetables when you're cooking them, it's going to pull out a lot of the moisture. And it's going to add flavor. So as you know, my broth doesn't have any salt in it. So now we're just gonna let this get in there, get in there, get in there. We're gonna let this wilt down a little bit. I'll clean up as I go. Cut my lemon. I'm so impatient sometimes when I cook that I get a little bit ahead of myself. I actually wanted some zest of the lemon here. Let me add a little zest in. So usually just take a grater and you take just the lemon yellow color off. You don't want to go down too far on the lemon. If you zest it, you're going to get a bitter flavor. But there's some real good oils and really good strong flavor in the zest. And that's what we want to add. Lemon. That cooked down a little bit more. See, it cooks up so fast. You can see that it's starting to wilt. And the garlic is starting to absorb into the broccoli. And the lemon is starting to get in there. I'll add some pepper. I'm just trying to rotate what's on the bottom and bring it up on top. And like when we do a stir fry or anything else, you don't have to cook it down too far. That's why it's important to get the seasoning that you want in it right away, because you'd be surprised at how fast that broth cooks down. I don't like it too spicy, but a couple red pepper flakes are gonna add a really nice heat to the background. Let me get them. And when I say a couple, I mean a couple. Like a minute little pinch, less than a pinch. I've tried making this with a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, and my daughter wouldn't touch it unless it was just the tiniest, littlest bit of red pepper in the background. It's almost done. See, it doesn't take that long. And you can serve this over rice, you could serve this with raw vegetables at the same time, with quinoa. You could have it with, if you're gonna make a meat side dish, a big steak dinner, you could, split your steak up between you and your guest. You can do so many different things. How simple is that? Lots of garlic, salt, lemon. I'm going to finish it off with some fresh lemon now. Squeeze it right over top. Some red pepper flakes, little lemon zest. And you have my favorite appetizer. Main dish. Woo! Attack of the tongs. My favorite ever. Oi, so good. Okay, we are done. Let's get some out here and I'll show you. So working nice. A little flour off here. Perfect. It's got a lot of lemon. It still has some nice green and broccoli taste. And then it's also got just enough garlic. What? What a good dish. Another thing you can do on top is add pine nuts. That's the nut that usually comes with it. Or if you wanted, you could add some butter to finish it off if you eat butter. But here is a very vegan, no oil, perfect green sautéed. Eat whole foods, be healthy, leave some comments on the blog, go to Facebook, let me know what you try, healthcoachkel.com. Find me, comment, let me know what you're doing. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks everyone, bye. Glad I made a lot. Too bad it's only me here, but I don't think I'm gonna have a problem eating it.